Hey YouTube, it's Black, and today I'm coming at you with a deck profile for something that actually started off as a joke, and is something completely stupid and shouldn't work, but it does. This is my blue-eyed Shinato deck. I was sitting around one day wondering, how can I abuse blue-eyed maiden more, and then I decided, hey, let's utilize this card that no one's seen in freaking years. And stuck it in there, figured out the deck works for some reason. I have no idea why, but let me just go through it real quick. Starting off, we got the 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, 2 Trigodias, a BLS, a Gores, 2 Kaikos, 3 Manju of the 10,000 Hands, 3 Blue Eyed Maidens, triple Shinato King of a Higher Planes, 2 Breakers, and 2 Maxis. Spell lineup simple, it's Dark Hole, 2 Advanced Ritual Arts, 2 Shinato's Arcs, 2 MSTs, 1 Book of Moon, and 2 Trade-ins. Traps are Compulse, Warning, Bottomless, 2 Breakthrough Skills, 2 Deep Prisons, and a Torrential. Extra deck consists of 2 Azure-Eyed Silver Dragons, 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Stardust, Crimson Blader, Catastor, Iron Chain, Black Rose, Maystroke, Black Ship, Popular Operative, Roach, the Sigma, and Cowboy, pretty much staples. So, how does this deck work? Well, one, the deck is focused on getting out this one card. Shinato King of a Higher Plane first premiered in the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series, and his effect is he can only be ritual summoned with his own card Shinato's Arc. You can only tribute all that bull, but his effect is when this card destroys a defensive position monster and sends it to the graveyard as a result of battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of the destroyed monster. So basically, if you can drop this thing first turn, your opponent is either forced to take a direct 3300 to the face, or set either low attack monsters into running into him, or setting their monsters and still getting burned for their monster's attack. It's pretty good strategy. I've had people do that to me where they're forced to keep setting monsters to keep themselves from Shinato just killing them. But the real combo you're supposed to do with this deck is 1 summon Shinato and then summon Kaiko. As Shinato starts clearing away monsters and burning your opponent, Kaiko goes in for that attack and starts removing them from the graveyard, leaving your opponent with little to nothing other than to just dark hole the field or torrential. But normally, once you get these 2 on the field, you're never going to summon anything else. Now, the reason Maiden's in here, Maiden and Blue Eyes, Maiden is just a good first turn summon for you if you don't have your setup. Say you draw Advanced Ritual Art and no Shinato, or Shinato's Arc and no Shinato. You can just sit on Maiden and summon Blue Eyes if they end up targeting it, to set yourself up and keep yourself from dying. Plus, Blue Eyes being a normal dragon level 8, he's a perfect target for Advanced Ritual Art because you can run 3. You can also run trade in this deck, so it gives you a sort of draw engine without having to lose your special summon like with a card like Duality. This deck needed a little bit more teeth, so I gave the Chaos engine with the Trags, the Gores, the BLSs. I think 9. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I was right. There are 9 lights in this deck and a balance of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 darks. I think that's kind of a perfect balance for lights and darks for BLS. And if BLS is ever dead, I can just drop it for Shinato's Arc to summon Shinato if I have both in hand. And it also really helps that Shinato's a light as well, help get combos off easier. There's no Veiler in this deck because I don't feel like Veiler is needed. Blue-Eyed Maiden is the only level 1 tuner you'll need, and Breakthrough Skill pretty much accomplishes the job Veiler would have done. But yeah, this deck also requires a lot of planning, a lot of setup beforehand. So you have to play cards like Deep Prison, Compulse, and Bottomless to make sure your opponent doesn't get set up before you do. Now, your extra deck is actually pretty flexible in this deck. You can actually play this deck without one at all, even though your Maidens would be useless. Or really, the only one you need to play is Azure-Eyed Silver Dragon, so you can do something with that Maiden that you just leave on the field. It's really easy to go in Catastor or even Armades with Maiden and Breaker or Maiden and Kaiko if I ever just want to seal the deal. But some of the things you may want to play other than this deck, or some things you can actually side into, is another one of these old level 8 ritual monsters, which is Reshev the Dark Being. Now, Reshev was Big Eye before Big Eye existed. His effect is, once returned, by discarding a spell card from your hand, take control of 1 monster on your opponent's side of the field till the end phase of the turn. Now, he's only got 2,500 attacks, but he's weaker than Shinato. but the ability to just take monsters regardless of position on your opponent's side of the field is really deadly, because you can still attack with those monsters, you can still flip those monsters, and when you're done with them, you can just overlay into anything you need, or any rank 4 or whatever you need. Which is why you play such a large Synchro and XYZ variant. The good thing is Reshiv can discard his own ritual spell. So if you already have one of these on the field, your opponent has to set something, you just discard its own ritual spell, that's yours now. Now you can also play Mind Control in this deck, so you can exceed faster and Synchro faster. You can't use ritual spells with Mind Control because you're tributing the monster, but that doesn't matter. You can also play Armades in this deck instead of Catastor if you feel like it. And you can also play the Gens in this deck. You can stick instead of playing Breakers like I am, you can stick Tour Guides and the Gens in this deck to make sure you seal and lock down your opponent from doing anything else. Also, you can throw a couple copies of these in there, which is Fulfillment of a Contract. And its effect is pay 800 life points, select one ritual monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and equip it with this card. When this card is destroyed, remove from play the equipped monster. Basically, the idea is once you summon Shinato, if Shinato dies, you equip it with this card, get it back, and you sit on that. But yeah, this is basically this deck profile. It's something really stupid I thought of. You don't have to take this seriously, and just stay tuned at the end for the normal extra video of me showing you how this deck works. And let me know what you guys think. Stay black, and I will see you next time.